And welcome aboard, everybody, here to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you. We got another edition here. And, the first team to Major League Baseball to 10 wins in the 2022 season. And right now, owning the best record in the National League at the very least, and in baseball, is the New York Mets. So let's talk about it, folks. Are the New York Mets right now at 10-4, are they indeed the best team in baseball? It seems kind of hard to believe. It's only April, what is it, the 21st going into the 22nd? It's incredibly early in the season. Incredibly early. And I preface by saying the fact that we have been here before many, many times with the Mets with regards to them getting off to a hot start to start a season. And, of course, as we have seen many, many times, doesn't always work out. But there is reason for optimism, at least right now, because this team is playing good baseball. Are they the best team in baseball at 10-4, having won 4 straight series to open the season? I won't go that far, but they are playing the most cohesive baseball right now, and their series victory over the Giants was a huge statement. The Giants are a good baseball team. That was a team that won over 100 games last year of the National League West, and the Mets had a great series against them, winning 3 out of 4, including this afternoon where they beat the Giants by a score of 5-2. And the one big reason why the Mets are having so much success, there's 2 reasons. Actually, 3. One of them, obviously, is because of the man in the dugout. Buck Showalter has added a level of discipline, grit, and intensity that this team has not seen in a while. We talked about that in my last video. The other 2 reasons are the most important is, one, the pitching, especially the starting pitching, has been fantastic. Carlos Carrasco, who went 7 2/3 in the game against the Giants on Thursday afternoon, held them just 1 run. In fact, in that start, his best outing as a Met, to be honest with you. 18 1/3 innings so far this year for Carrasco, 3 earned runs, a 1.47 ERA. Max Scherzer, 18 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, a 2.50 ERA. Chris Bassett, 18 innings, a 3 ERA. And Taylor McGill, who has been incredibly impressive in the stead of Jacob deGrom. 16 1/3 innings pitched. He's only given up 4 earned runs, a 2.20 ERA. The Mets as a team, starting pitching, a 2.31 ERA. The bullpen has been an issue, and if there's a weakness for the Mets moving forward, it is indeed their bullpen, which has been inconsistent at times so far here in the early going of the year. But as a team, the Mets right now, all right up there, second, third in the league in ERA, a 2.56. We got the Giants and the Dodgers and the Yankees all up there as well as far as team ERA is concerned. But that has been the biggest positive so far from the Mets through the first 2 weeks of the season is their pitching, especially their starting pitching, has been fantastic. The other part of this, offensively, and I don't think it gets talked about enough with the Mets, because offensively they have been incredibly solid. We knew that they were going to bring in, and I've said this before, but bring in some experienced hitters, like Eduardo Escobar, Matt Canna, Sterling Marte. Those guys have contributed. Those guys have gotten big base hits in big spots. And you notice, if you take a look at the numbers, it has shown up. The Mets right now are 9th in the league in batting average at .252. They are right now 2nd in baseball in on-base percentage at 349. They are 2nd in the league in walks, right now 1st because they played their game today. But they're the league leader in walks, and they're the league leader in stolen bases. So they get on base, and they create runs. But a big part of this is the fact that both Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso have been on fire to start the year. Lindor, best case in point, right now hitting at .308 on the season, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. He killed the Giants this week, 3 RBIs, a home run. He had a home run this afternoon, had 7 hits in the series. He has been on fire, and the Mets needed him to be on fire because last year this was a guy who struggled to hit over 200. This year, it's a totally different story. He is a much different player and feels like a much different player in a clubhouse. With him coming out and saying that he is proud to be a New York Met after he got beamed by a baseball during the first weekend of the year against the Washington Nationals during the infamous Apple game. That certainly had to make a lot of his teammates feel good, and he has been able to tough out an injury. and the fact that he is hitting extremely well. And he's starting to turn a lot of those jeers, those thumbs down, into thumbs up. And, of course, Alonso also doing a good job hitting at 278, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. Last I checked, that was one of the league leaders in RBIs. He has been on fire. So as far as those two can go, and that will carry the Mets. As far as this team can go, they need Lindor, they need Alonso, they need the starting pitching to continue to play at a high level, especially when we get into the nitty-gritty part of the schedule moving down forward in the season. This is a great start for this team. They have put themselves in a very good position. They're, 3.5, 4 games ahead of their next closest competition in the NL East. But again, it is a long season for a reason. You play 162 for a reason. They will head on the road. They'll head to Arizona this weekend. They should win 2 out of 3 there against a bad D-backs team. Then they go to St. Louis, and the Cardinals have always been a pain in the neck for the Mets over the years. Always. That will be a tough series. And that will lead into what will be a 2-week stretch after the St. Louis series next week, where it's in division. And it'll be 11 games straight against the Phillies and the Braves. 7 with Philly, 4 with Atlanta. That's what's coming up for the Mets as we move into the month of May. So buckle up your seatbelts as far as the Mets are concerned, but you have to be like where they are right now at 10-4. Complete opposite in the Bronx right now, as the Yankees right now sit at 7-6. Again, we've also been here before with them. They've had slow starts to the seasons as well and have found ways to get to the playoffs, but it feels like this Yankee team, you wonder, are they really committed to winning? What's going on with this team? They're very inconsistent. Offensively, it's the same script as last year. It's home run or nothing. They're right now hitting at 221 as a team. They aren't hitting the ball very well at all. Aaron Judge only has 2 RBIs all season in 2 weeks, 13 games, since he declined signing his contract extension with the Yankees. Only 2 RBIs. Anthony Rizzo's been their best hitter, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, but he's hitting only 233. So they're swinging and missing a lot of pitches. They're just not a good contact hitting team. They hit for power, they just don't hit for average. The pitching has been very good. And I say that with a caveat because their most important pitcher, the guy making the most money in Garrett Cole, $36 million a year, has sucked. I'm sorry, but he has sucked. 6.35 ERA for Cole. And you have to wonder, what's going on with this guy? You know, it started last year with this whole spider tack thing where he got supposedly caught with it. And his pitching went right downhill last year, second half of the year. And he hasn't been the same guy since. And he hasn't gone more than 5 innings in a game so far this season. He got pulled out of a start against the Detroit Tigers the other night, very early after 2 innings. So he is in a lot of trouble. The good news for the Yankees is Luis Severino looks like the same guy from 2018. 3 starts, has an ERA of around 2.08, and is 1-0. So the Yankees have to be happy that at least Severino is on his way back to being an ace type. Not so much with Garrett Cole. The Yankees are a weird team, off to a weird start to their season. You can't figure them out. But the team that's feeling good right now, the best team in baseball, believe it or not, the New York Mets, right there at the start of the year, 10-4, and we're going to see if they can keep the good vibes rolling. Like and subscribe right here, folks, to the Sports Talk Nation. You know what to do right here on YouTube, and also follow us on the social media at OpenMikeNJ on Twitter and Facebook.com/OpenMikePro. We'll talk to you next time.